2025 was a roller coaster ride for many of us and even to the world. It started with trade tariffs, trade wars, and continued with Pahalgam kind of a terrible incident, and we replied with Operation Sindoor. Then we had to face a heartbreaking moment, air crash in Ahmedabad. So in a nutshell to say, the whole calendar year 2025 was not an easy year to digest, and it was devastating throughout the year. Now when we are approaching the end of this calendar year, all of us are hopeful and are also having a lot of expectations from the coming year 2026. Will 2026 deliver a better prospect for us, or will it also blow our mind the way 2025 did? That's what this video will focus on. Welcome back to my channel Ramya Jyotish, and I'm Ramya Shri. This new year 2026 is as per the Gregorian calendar. As per Sanatan Dharma, as per Vedic Jyotish, the new year commences on Chaitra Shukla Pratipada, which happens to be on 19th March 2026. And that's why the new year predictions are generally made from this time. But the first 2.5 months of 2026 has every potential to be as happening as possible, and also with the changing times and with the demand from the viewers as well, I somewhere felt there is requirement of predictions from the calendar year perspective as well, and that's when I thought of making this video. This video mainly focuses on Medini Jyotish predictions, that is worldly predictions for calendar year 2026. I have noted down all the planetary transits for this whole year and also have focused on key predictions for this year. So please do watch this video till the end. If you have any feedback or suggestions, please do drop in the comment section. I am happy to answer. This 2026 starts with multiple planetary combination in Dhanur Rashi. So when we cast the chart at midnight 0 hours 1 minute, that's when the Gregorian calendar starts on January 1st 2026, we see there are 4 planets in Dhanur Rashi. So that's Surya, Mangal, Budh and Shukra, Sun, Mars, Mercury and Venus. So all these 4 planets congregated in Dhanur Rashi, and retrograde Jupiter, who is the lord of this Dhanur Rashi, will be in Mithun Rashi. So this formation of Jupiter and Mercury Parivartana Yoga, that is Mithun Rashi Lord Mercury is in Dhanur Rashi and Dhanur Rashi Lord Jupiter is in Mithun Rashi. So this Guru Buddha's Parivartana Yoga sets the stage for a transformative year 2026, marked by diplomatic breakthroughs, geopolitical shifts and spiritual awakening as well. Because whenever Jupiter is involved, spiritualism is must and should. Because Jupiter here is the lord of Dhanur Rashi, and in Dhanur Rashi we have the multiple planetary transit. So let's start from the first month, January 2026, and if we see the major planetary transits, and also there is an eclipse in this year 2026 which is pretty sensitive. So let's focus on all these things. So January 2026 is the start of a diplomatic dawn. So early January the planetary configuration would be in such a way, it would be 4 planets would be in Dhanur Rashi. Next it will move to Makar Rashi, which is the natural 10th house, and Makar Rashi is Shanidev's Rashi. So even more diplomatic as well as even more complicated, and Makar Rashi is a very slow moving and little bit dry sign compared to Dhanur Rashi. Dhanur Rashi is a Agni Tattva Rashi, but Makar Rashi is a Prithvi Tattva Rashi, so slow moving, and also certain things will take time to manifest. So the January will set that tone for the calendar year, and the celestial configuration suggests us that this will be again a year of unprecedented diplomatic activities. We see a lot of dialogue and negotiation that will take center stage on the global platform. So, sudden diplomatic talks likely between USA, Canada, UK, Saudi Arabia, Australia and Southeast Asian nations, especially Thailand and Cambodia, and also with couple of European countries like Belgium and Italy. Even a small island like Madagascar may also come into spotlight. India may see an intensified engagement in the Northeast, East and Southeast nations. So India will have a very prolonged kind of an activity or more focus in this direction. We have already seen now in the month of December what is happening in the chicken neck of the northeast part, and also with the Nepal we have seen in the past, and now recently with Thailand and Cambodia also, after the destruction of the idol of Mahavishnu, India is in serious diplomatic talks with Thailand and Cambodia. So all these area will get erupted now because these regions are in a very big trouble right now, and this is the main concern for India. So a lot of countries will take sides for India, against India, and a lot of diplomatic stands also will be taken, and India will have a very tough time in juggling between all of them, and also focus on the growth in all the areas for its people. So mid-January, India will start with Mars Mahadasha, Rahu Antardasha. September 2025 onwards, we started with the new Mahadasha, Mars Mangal Mahadasha. Now from mid of January, we will start with Rahu Antardasha. Whenever Mars Mahadasha and Rahu Antardasha comes in play, that is a time which is considered to be very sensitive and a very cautious time. This time period will be from mid-Jan 2026 to February 2027. That is the whole calendar year 2026. We will have the Mangal Mahadasha and Rahu Antardasha, 99%. So this will actually bring some unexpected, unconventional and disruptive events. Rahu represents Muslims and Ketu represents Christians, Jews and Sikhs as well. So this is for the as per the Medini Jyotish. So February 2026 we have the eclipse and as well as the market turbulence. So with Rahu placed in the Lagna of Rishabh Lagna, which is Shukra's Rashi, and Rahu is said to be exalted in this Rashi. So there is a two exaltation theory for Rahu. One is in Gemini and another one is in Rishabh Rashi, Mithun and Rishabh Rashi. So this can show how the secularism as well as the anti-nationalism will be at peak for the country in this whole calendar year 2026. So because of Mars Rahu's Mahadasha Antardasha, we may see majority of the events which will take place in this year would be a bit unexpected, shocking, as well as something we wouldn't have even thought that people will go to this extent to achieve their goals. So what we can say is dussahas in Hindi. That's what we may see during this time. So terror attacks or bomb blast, fire accidents, these things will be pretty common during this time. Because Rahu currently is in Vayu Tattva Rashi, and in a natal chart of Bharat, as per Indian Independence Day, it is in Prithvi Tattva Rashi. So it's not an easy year, and Rahu, when combined with the Martian energy, he tends to give the similar results. Rahu is present in Kumbha Rashi and will conjunct with Mars in February 2026, and with many other planets also from mid of Feb to mid of March. So in this 1 month, what happens is we may see a sudden intensified war-like moment for India, or very tense and very sensitive time period for India. So this will be the time where nationalism, patriotism will be at peak, and also the time when every one of us will be holding our nerves and wishing for the victory. So that also is expected during this time. February, as I mentioned, there will be an eclipse on 17th, and it's a solar eclipse in Kumbh Rashi. And because many other planets like Mars, Mercury, Venus also participate, we may expect global supply chain disruption. And because it's a solar eclipse, that is which happens on Amavasya, Chandra also would be there. So Chandra is the main karaka for supply chain, because supply chain is something very quick moving or very rapid growth, or the things change fastly. So for that, moon is pretty much required along with Venus. So global supply chain will disrupt during this time. Trade complications and inflations also will surge to a very high between mid of Feb to mid of March. Equity market may see panic selling during this time. Forest fire or encroachments, this also may come into limelight during this time. February 26th to March 21st, Buddha or Mercury will be retrograde and will be in conjunction with Rahu. So Mercury is that one planet which will extend its stay in Kumbh Rashi along with Rahu. So this will give Rahu a chance to take much more energy of Mercury to give his results. Rahu, Ketu are Chaya Grahas. They cannot give any results incomplete alone. They need another planet. They need another planet's energy to complete their result or to give more effective results. Because Rahu, Ketu are Pretatmas. They are incomplete in nature. If you remember the story of Samudra Manthan, Rahu is the head and Ketu is the body. So together they are one entity by name Svarbhanu. So after Mahavishnu's Sudarshan Chakra separated them, Rahu became the head part and Ketu became the body part. And from then, they both transit in 180 degree in a retrograde, that is in the opposite direction of the other planets. So because of which what happens, Rahu, Ketu, they don't have any lordships of any houses. They have assumed certain exaltation, certain debilitation points, which also have lot of agreement and disagreements among the astrologers. But Rahu, Ketu doesn't have their own karakatvas, and they are the shadowy or chaya grahas. So they reflect what the other fully terrestrial planet will do. So when they are with luminaries, they cause eclipse over them, sun and moon. And when they are with terrestrial planets like Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Mars and Saturn, they reflect their energies, their characteristics, and they amplify those results in their way. Because Rahu is an outright malefic planet, Ketu is malefic but very detached and a very kind of moksha karaka graha. So now coming here to focus on Rahu, because all this conjunction, all these planets will have to pass through that. So when Rahu gets these planets in connection, what happens? It will take out the energy of those planets and will give out in its own way. So when Rahu conjuncts first with the Surya and then with Mangal, then both the Shukra, everyone, so it will give the results of that. And during the solar eclipse, Surya, Chandra, there will be 5 planets plus 1 Rahu, 6. So 6 planets in Kumbh Rashi can create a big havoc in the world. Because it's the 11th house, so it is the house of income or house of gains. So that may get disrupted, and also it is the house of networking. And also from Medini Jyotish point of view, this is a very important house for trade and commerce, as well as for many other political allies, and as well as on the routine work which happens in democracy. So all these may get disrupted after February 17th. So this effect would be there until 19th of March. So Mercury, when it retrogrades and conjunct with Rahu, that is from 26th of February to 21st of March, During this time, the other planets will move ahead after giving their results. But Mercury has its stays back. We may see this may bring some strategic victories through unconventional means, maybe through cunning means, or potential ally of India may betray. So this also may happen to our country. Then comes the famous and less talked about Saturn and Neptune conjunction in Pisces. This is a rare conjunction which is happening after 36 years, and this is happening in Pisces, Meena Rashi. In 1989, this conjunction happened in Dhanur Rashi, and both Saturn and Neptune being in the Agni Tattva Rashi gave a kind of a battle or warfare kind of a moment. So we can if we can recall certain incidents, East and West Germany got united. They took down that Berlin Wall and they were united. So similar kind of incidents we can expect in the month of Feb and March, when both Saturn and Neptune are in conjunction in Meena Rashi. So because Meena Rashi is a Jalatattva Rashi, so yeah, we can expect tsunami risk, marine disasters, and threats to the coastal communities for people in the coastal areas. This is from India's perspective, as well as all the other countries which are very close to sea, especially in the north part. So they may expect some kind of tsunami incidents, or the ship may go missing, or some threat to the fishermen, or all of a sudden war through navy, through seashore. That also may happen. So something related to seashore, something related to water is definitely gonna take place in these 2 months. And Shani and Neptune is those kind of a planet which are not considered in the, this kind of conjunction is not considered in the horary part, that is in the individual horoscope part, because Neptune is at such a far distance to Earth that it hardly comes in 120-130 years, that by that time the lifespan of an individual would have got over. So that's why we don't consider Uranus, Neptune and Pluto for horary or the individual horoscope predictions. But for Medini Jyotish, we have to consider these planets because this is for the whole world. So they would have come back 15 years or 30 or 100 years ago, and now again when they are closer to Earth, definitely that matters. So that's why I'm considering Neptune's closeness to Saturn, and I have given you the prior incident also. So similarly we can expect during this time, because Dhanu Rashi is a north direction sign, we expected there, it is an east direction sign, so we could see similar to that from London point of view. But now this is happening in Pisces sign, which is a north direction, so we can see some kind of a devastating events in and around that global point. So let's hope that doesn't happen, but the destiny is destiny. Next, moving ahead to March, April, which is the once again a very most critical period. In March, the real estate crisis will begin. Saturn combustion from 8th of March will cause bureaucratic delays and institutional challenges. There will be certain incidents which requires swift and witty decision, but because Saturn is combust and Jupiter is retrograde or in stationary mode by that time, we may see majority of the decisions would go wrong, and also the bureaucratic delay will cost us a lot. Not just for India, even for United States of America as well, because they are going through Rahu Dasha, Shani Antardasha right now, so they have to be also extremely careful. We both are in the Rahus, they are in Rahu Shani, we are in Mangal Rahu, so we both are in a big danger right now. So the leadership crisis is definitely gonna take place in this month of March. So that will trigger some not so good decisions, and which will actually make us repent in the future. April 2nd to April 11th, we will have Mars, Mercury and Saturn conjunction in Meena Rashi. So this is pretty risky to the youth as well as for the students. Considering it is a holiday time period, but still in several parts of a country as well as in other countries, this may not be a good time. So April 2nd to April 11th, youths as well as students in India, abroad, or Indians who have gone to abroad, you have to be careful. Next, April 15 to April 24th, Mars and Saturn conjunction. This may bring warfare, leadership crisis, accidents, damage to the crops, agricultural crisis, epidemic risk as well as political opposition. April 15 to 24, when Mangal and Shani are in a very close conjunction in the 11th house for Vrishab Lagna, from the monetary point of view, it may look really good, but without the Jupiter's aspect and also without any benefic aspect, this time period may bring some sudden events related to the areas I mentioned, warfare, battle and all. Again, it might have resumed in the month of March when Jupiter became direct on 11th of March, but again it may get into the mode from 15th of April, because 11th of March Jupiter turns direct, 21st of March Mercury will turn direct. So when Jupiter Mercury turns direct, they try to manage the situation, but when Mangal Shani gets over without the aspect of Jupiter or even the presence of Mercury, because Mercury also will leave post 11th of April. So that's when Mangal Shani's conjunction will start giving its results. When Mangal Shani was with Buddha, we did not see major issues. There were risks to youth life as well as for students, but after Buddha leaves there, we see some problems, and from 15th of April to 24th of April, it brings some unprecedented events. During this time, we may see death of any spiritual leader, or some attack on any religious institution, or to any kind of dharmic places, or to any temple as well. So this could be a very sensitive time period of the year. February, April, if I have to summarize, possible warfare in the northeast, bloodshed, loss of leaders, especially spiritual leaders, market crashes, but rise in patriotism, as well as we may see return of Indians to home. That also may happen during this time. May 2026 onwards, the recovery phase will begin. On 11th of May, when Mangal enters Mesh Rashi, we may expect sudden change in real estate sector. Construction may resume. Investor confidence also may return. So even the equity markets will start growing or will start showing positive signs. And 2026 June will be the month which will be marked as spiritual renaissance. So unprecedented footfalls at major temples, especially Vishnu temples like Jagannath Puri, Gaya, Badrinath, Padmanabha Swami, Anant Padmanabha Swami, Ranganatha Swami and Tirupati Balaji. All these Vishnu temples post June 2026 will see some kind of a spiritual awakening as well as a lot of visit from the public. So footfall in these temples would be very high and it would be exuberant also at certain point of time, because the first 5 months would have gone through in a way that people would have realized science, technology or whatever new organizations, everything cannot assure you the peace as well as the safety the way the spiritualism in Sanatan Dharma gives. And that's why we will see all these kind of footfalls in these major temples. And Vishnu is the Sthiti Karta. Among the Holy Trinity we have Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha. Brahma is the Srishti Karta, Mahesha, Rudra is the Laya Karta, and Vishnu is the Sthiti Karta. So generally and naturally the Pisces sign where Shanidev is present represents that Kshira Samudra, and so no wonder people will visit more temples, because Meena Rashi generally represents Pada also. So Vishnu Pada of Gaya may get a huge amount of visitors during this time, and also Badri Kedar visit may be very high during May to August or May to October during 2026. So this was about the first 6 months. So to consider, the first 6 months will start with not so good diplomacy, and next it will enter into a very terrible or a very sensitive events. Then again it will cool down, then spiritual awakening happens, and we may see the recovery phase. But post June 2026, we will see inflation would be at a very high, and I think before June will start, Jupiter's exaltation in Karka Rashi would have already started giving results. On 2nd of June, Jupiter will re-enter Cancer sign, and before this only we can expect the precious metal silver may reach 3 lakh per kg by June 2026. So it's already projected to reach that 3 lakh by March or April, but even furthering for 2-3 months, and with the way the unprecedented events also may happen, I expect it to cross 3 lakh per kg by June 2026. That is before Jupiter enters Cancer sign. And for the gold as well as for the silver, last 2 weeks of July 2026, when Surya Guru will be in conjunction in Pushya Nakshatra and Shanidev in Revati Nakshatra, and also Rahu in Shatabisha, then entering to Dhanishta Nakshatra. During this time, we may see spike in gold and silver prices, and this will be the most sudden moment in the financial markets. So this last 2 weeks will actually make gold and silver so costly that we couldn't even imagine. So silver prices will go up very high until the time Jupiter is in Cancer. So silver is something we should forget, I think, because that's what will happen from June to October. So key recommendations I would give for the investors is diversify into precious metal before February, because after that it may keep soaring and soaring. Then reduce your equity exposure in January. Real estate, transact between mid-Feb or wait till 11th of May, because it's a bit difficult, because Mars is exalted from mid of Jan to mid of Feb, but because of Shani's presence in the 12th, it's not letting the things to happen, and Jupiter is not controlling Saturn. And maintain high cash reserves is what I would suggest for all of you, because when global supply chain disrupts and a lot of these kind of events happen, it is good to have a good food storage at home, and health is also very important, because there is a chance of epidemic spread once Rahu enters Dhanishta Nakshatra in July 2026. Jupiter is there in Karka Rashi, but he won't be watching Rahu. Now Jupiter is controlling Rahu even through its Vakri nature. He is somehow able to handle. But once Jupiter enters Cancer Sun, he will lose the aspect on Rahu, and from June to October, Rahu is totally free. He doesn't have anyone's control, and he can do whatever he wants. And he would have got good amount of energy through all the planets which would have passed through the Kumbh Rashi in the month of February and March. So what happens is that a lot of extra caution is required, especially in the month of April, for children's safety, and stock medicines as well as maintain good health, good food habits, and coastal residents, please be aware of tsunami warnings. Then develop spiritual practices early. The best remedy or the best practice I would say for the year 2026 is worship Shiva on all the Mondays, as well as chant Vishnu Sahasranama on a daily basis, especially on Wednesday as well as on Saturday. because Shanidev is in Meena Rashi and Gurudev will be entering Karka Rashi. So that's why worshipping Shiva as well as worshipping Vishnu is mandatory for this year, because we need both the energies, because one to slow down the massacre and the other one to seek the protection. We need both. We cannot minimize the negative things happening, because that's the part of karmic cycle. So the whole society, we as a society, what we have done from over the years, that's what we are getting paid back. It's not just me and you in the society, it is every one of us. Whole world is like a family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So what we sow, we reap that. So that's why it's very important to pray to Bhagwan Shiva to minimize his Raudra Roop, and also to pray to Bhagwan Vishnu to seek his protection on us. So that's what actually can help us to sail through this year. So concluding this whole year, because I've done till only June or July, because June 2nd, Jupiter, once it enters Karka Rashi, a lot of new events happen and it needs a detailed study. So June to October, what happens is, it will be good, seems better, but once Rahu enters Dhanishta Nakshatra, again some bloodshed, some kind of a mini war, everything will happen. And also this 2026 October onwards, when Jupiter happens to enter Simha Rashi, the Leo sign, and gets conjunct with Ketu there, we will see a new era in technology, because Jupiter-Ketu conjunction will give Rahu the access of Jupiterian energy, and Jupiter is known for intellectual wisdom. So Ketu is a big follower of Jupiter, because Ketu is Moksha Karaka and is a spiritual planet, and when it gets a planet like Guru, it will be waiting to take that energy to it, and Rahu also will make use of it. So Guru Ketu conjunction in Simha Rashi from late October 2026, we call it as Ganpati Yoga, and Guru Rahu's face off can actually give a very good boost to AI, because now with whatever AI tools or the platforms created out of AI has not resulted in a great extent as expected. There have been visible and very commendable results, but in a larger scale, the way it had to expand, the way it had to deliver the results, that has not happened yet. And this can happen only when Rahu Ketu gets any planet's power or the energy for a longer time period. And for that it requires planet like Jupiter itself, because Jupiter is that storage of wisdom, knowledge, which Rahu wants to make use of. And when Jupiter conjuncts with Ketu for some days before Ketu moves to Karkatak Rashi, Rahu will make use of it. So by October 2026, we will see some sudden change in the way AI, artificial intelligence works, and some new technology or some new takeover or some sudden development in this technology field also we may expect. So October to late October to January starting tak, Jupiter would be in Simha Rashi. Then he will come back again to Karkatak Rashi and will be in conjunction till June 2027. So starting from mid of October 2026 till June 2027, when Jupiter Ketu conjunction and Jupiter Rahu face off is there, we can expect some amazing transformations, because Jupiter is in a very good strength when it is in Cancer sign as well as in Leo sign. So Rahu Ketu will amplify that or will shadow the way the planet is. So when the planet is placed really well, we can expect amazing level of developments, and Jupiter is also the planet of expansion. So we may see these AI models getting adapted in larger scale and becoming popular, becoming useful in a larger way. So the whatever AI tools or whatever new generation technology we are seeing right now, this is actually nothing, and there is something massive which is gonna come post October 2026. So we just have to wait and watch on this. So a separate prediction I will make on it when the time comes. But for now to say, this is what we can expect for this calendar year 2026. So concluding, I just want to say 2026 presents a stark contrast. Breakthroughs, conflicts, crashes, boom, then challenges, awakening, everything. But it will end as a year of transformation with upheaval, preparation, awareness, and with wisdom and some technological advancements as well. So the silver lining is every challenge carries seeds of transformation, and market crashes also will teach non-attachment, because during this year when the market crash happens, it will be similar to 1991 or in 2008, and this will remind us why security as well as high cash reserve is very important. So even the currency may also get changed, or the domination of currency also may change, or a new currency may also come into place, because Jupiter is entering moon sign, which represents money. It is a natural Jalatattva Rashi. So we can definitely expect something big breakthrough in the financial field as well. And this time when market crashes, as I mentioned, it will be similar to 91 and 2008. So many investors or traders who had taken way more risk than their capacity may lose very big. But people who were in a limit and also who had calculated or were aware of this kind of situation, you are safe. You are somehow able to recover it post June 2026. But any irregular or through some XYZ courses as we see on online, if you have entered market, it's better to exit as soon as possible. So that's what I would suggest, and that's what I want to conclude as well. So failures prompt reforms. Spirituality connects us with the eternal truths yet again. So this is the year we will realize again science, technology, and each and everything in this world, even medicine, insurance, everything are just temporary in front of the divine grace. Because when divine grace turns into Raudra Roop, nobody can actually control it, or none of our arrangements will be able to face that. So let's hope the divine grace guide us throughout this year ahead. And I would just wish Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, Sarve Jana Srijano Bhavantu. Namaste.